Under fire. These are the first pictures of America's great naval victory in the Pacific. Army, Navy, and Marine planes, cooperating with the fleet, surprise a Jap invasion force sent to capture strategic Midway.
Once again, we're in the World War II gallery. A quick discussion of the Battle of Midway, also known as the Miracle of Midway. Called a miracle because of a number of coincidences allowed the Americans to prevail, and they prevailed in such that the 4 aircraft carriers from the Japanese invading force were sunk. We lost 1 carrier through the engagement. It took place between January 4th and 7th of 1942, about 6 months after Pearl Harbor. The Japanese had the thought that if they invaded and took Midway Island, which is about 1,000 or 1,100 miles north of Hawaii, it would take the Americans out of the fight, that they would control the Pacific. And so they had a vast force of battleships, aircraft carriers. In fact, so there were 4 different forces. One of the forces was to follow the main invasion and then take the island with 10,000 Japanese soldiers. The problem was, for the Japanese, that the Americans had somewhat broken the code that the Japanese used, JN-25 they called it. They'd broken the code to such an extent that they knew something was going on. They knew a carrier, that a fleet was at sea. Kinto Buktai it was called. The idea was they knew they were out there, they didn't know where they were going. Commander Rochefort had decided that it was Midway based on information. Someone came up with the bright idea that they would broadcast in the clear that the water treatment facilities at Midway were down. And sure enough, shortly after that, within a few hours, the Japanese announced through their code to all their stations that the waterworks were down. Bingo, they knew that Midway was the target. They sent carriers up, 3 carriers went up, and they stationed themselves north and east. As the Japanese were coming down from the northwest, when they were in range, they were found by our Catalina flying boats. They were spotted, knew where they were, and on the way to the target, they stacked 3 types of airplanes. Torpedo bombers down low, Commander Waldron. This is the Torpedo Squadron 8. There were a number of torpedo squadrons, but this one was the most significant. Torpedo Squadron 8. And they had, above them, they had the bombers, the SBDs, and above them, they had the fighters, the Wildcats. On the way to the target, there was a disagreement, and Commander Waldron said the heading to the target is 240. The leader of the squadron, of the fighters and the SBDs, said no, it's 265. Waldron was right. He went right to the target. He led his 15-ship formation in, one at a time. Every single one of them was shot down. Only 1 man survived, Lieutenant George Gay. Ensign George Gay, I should say. I guess here we can represent that fellow in the yellow life raft. The significance of that was that he witnessed the battle. He was a sole survivor. When he was in the water, basically hiding under his raft as he could, he finally popped up and spent 15 or so hours in his life raft. What he witnessed was not only his squadron getting shot down, but he saw that the Japanese were sitting ducks as the carriers were rearming, reloading, changing from bombs to guns and there was a lot of confusion about what they should do because they finally realized that there were some aircraft carriers nearby. As the Japanese were preparing, they looked up and down. They saw squadrons of SBDs attacking them. And within about 5 minutes, 3 carriers were so badly damaged that they were shot down. The following day, the other carrier, the Hero, was found and shot and bombed. It subsequently sank as well. The miracle was the airplane separating, allowing the bombers to come in, the torpedo bombers to come in, and having everyone land, and then the SBDs coming down and bombing. That was the miracle, and the other miracle was discovering the code where the attack was going to be. The significance of George Gay is he witnessed, and when he was picked up and told the command and staff, Nimitz and Spruance, that the carriers had been sunk. The battle had been won. Be sure and visit us at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. And if you want to know a lot more about the Battle of Midway or anything else in this museum, talk to one of the docents. Thank you.